Commentary highlights of the two Queen's Club tournament semi-finals matches of Yuri the Hacker v Jack Draper and Carlos Alcaraz v Roberto Bautista Agut. The first of these matches, Yuri the Hacker v Jack Draper. So first game of the match, Jack Draper serving, breakpoint Yuri the Hacker, 30-40. Jack Draper with a wide serve out, so Yuri the Hacker with a break after the first game of the match. 30-15, Yuri the Hacker serving with a break in the first set, and Yuri the Hacker with a central serve on that. Jack Draper backhand return, and Yuri the Hacker further forward strikes one to the left, and then Jack Draper with a backhand strikes a backhand return to the left, but then Yuri the Hacker and then with a backhand drop volley to the right, and it's a winner. Yuri the Hacker with a central serve, then Jack Draper strikes a forehand return. And then Yuri the Hacker strikes forehand to the right, behind Jack Draper returns it, but then Yuri the Hacker third forward strikes a backhand to the left to hold serve and maintain the break in the first set. So Jack Draper service game, and it's 30-15. Jack Draper serve, Yuri the Hacker forehand return centre behind Jack Draper forehand sends, and Yuri the Hacker strikes forehand to the left, and Jack Draper backhand to the left, and Yuri the Hacker backhand slice to the left, and Jack Draper backhand sends, and Yuri the Hacker then strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on that, and it's a winner. 40-30. Jack Draper serve, Yuri the Hacker forehand return to left, and Jack Draper further forward strikes a backhand to left from just by the net, and it's a winner to hold that service game. So it's 40-30 on this Jack Draper service game, and Jack Draper with a serve to the centre with a bit on it, and Jack Draper strikes a forehand to the right, but Yuri the Hacker backhand lob return, but Jack Draper struck a bit on that forehand to the right and holds that service game. So Yuri the Hacker serving with a break in the first set, and it's 15-love. Yuri the Hacker with a central serve on that. Jack Draper returns it, and Yuri the Hacker by the net strikes a angle forehand to the right, and it's a winner. So Jack Draper service game after Yuri the Hacker held serve to maintain the break in this first set, and Jack Draper centre box serve, Yuri the Hacker forehand return sense, and Jack Draper with shot sense, and Yuri the Hacker strikes forehand to left with a bit on it, and Jack Draper backhand return with a bit on it, and Yuri the Hacker strikes a shot to the right, and Jack Draper with a forehand angled shot to the left, and Yuri the Hacker returns it with a backhand drop shot to the right, and it's a winner. So Yuri the Hacker serving with a break in the first set, and Yuri the Hacker with a serve. Jack Draper returns, and Yuri the Hacker strikes a backhand to right behind it. Jack Draper backhand to left behind it, and Yuri the Hacker forehand to left behind it. Jack Draper forehand to right behind it. Yuri the Hacker backhand return, and Jack Draper strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So Jack Draper service game, 30 love, and Jack Draper with a serve. And then Yuri the Hacker forehand return. Jack Draper then strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and it's a winner. 40 love. Jack Draper wide serve. Yuri the Hacker strikes a backhand return to right, and Jack Draper then strikes a backhand to the left, and it's a winner to hold that service game. So Yuri the Hacker with a break in the first set. And it's 40-15, 2 set points for Yuri the Hacker to potentially over this match at 1 set to love. Yuri the Hacker, central box a bit on it, backhand to backhand. And Jack Draper backhand to left, just out after a bit on the backhand, struck to the left from Yuri the Hacker. Game and first set, Yuri the Hacker, 6-4. So Jack Draper serving the first game, second set. Jack Draper wide serve, and Yuri the Hacker back up turns right. Jack Draper on to the right, and Yuri the Hacker then strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So Yuri the Hacker service game 30-all, and Yuri the Hacker with a central serve. Jack Draper turns in. Yuri the Hacker further forward with forehand drops up the right, but Jack Draper onto it with backhand shot, but then Yuri the Hacker at net with a forehand volley to the centre, and it's a winner. So Yuri the Hacker serving on serve in the second set, and Yuri the Hacker with a serve, and Jack Draper back on turn central bit, and Yuri the Hacker forehand to left, and Jack Draper backhand to right. Yuri the Hacker strikes a forehand to right bit on it, and then to that, but then Jack Draper strikes a forehand passing shot to left with Yuri the Hacker at the net, and it's a passing shot winner. So 30-40, Yuri the Hacker with a serve, and then Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker to the net with a forehand volley, and Jack Draper from time, but then Yuri the Hacker at the net with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner to save that break point. Yuri the Hacker serve, Jack Draper turns and forward. Yuri the Hacker forehand drop shots left, but Jack Draper's onto it with backhand shot to the left, and it's a winner. Yuri the Hacker central serve, Jack Draper backhand turn. Yuri the Hacker further forward strikes a forehand to right, but Jack Draper returns it, but then out in there, Yuri the Hacker with a forehand volley to the left from by the net, and it's a winner to hold that service game. So Yuri the Hacker serving. It's on serve in the second set, and Yuri the Hacker with a wide serve. Jack Draper backhand down. Yuri the Hacker to the net. Remember, backhand drop volley to the left, and it's a winner. Yuri the Hacker with a central serve bit, and Jack Draper backhand return central bit. Yuri the Hacker forehand to left, and Jack Draper forehand to right bit. Yuri the Hacker backhand return left, and Jack Draper strikes a forehand to left bit. Yuri the Hacker forehand turn, but then Jack Draper to the net with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner. So on serve in the second set, Yuri the Hacker service game, and Yuri the Hacker with a centre to wide serve. Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker then strikes forehand to right bit. Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker at net with a forehand volley by the net, and it's a winner. 40-30, Yuri the Hacker was served on it. Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker further forehand slice net. Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker at the net after that with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner to hold that service game. Yuri the Hacker serving, but it's 15-40 and 2 set points for Jack Draper to potentially level the match at 1 set all, maybe potentially. And Yuri the Hacker with a wide serve, and Jack Draper backhand block return. Yuri the Hacker then strikes forehand to the right, and then Jack Draper turns and Yuri the Hacker with a forehand drop volley to the right net, but Jack Draper's onto it with a backhand shot to the right, and it's in, and it's a winner, and the match is level at 1 set all. So third and final set on serve. And it's a Yuri the Hacker service game. And it's 40-15. Yuri the Hacker serve. Jack Draper turned it. And Yuri the Hacker further forward strikes one serve on it. And Jack Draper backhand passing shot struck to left with Yuri the Hacker in there. And it's a winner. 1-1 on serve in the second set. Jack Draper service game in this third and final set of this one. And Jack Draper serve Yuri the Hacker backhand turn. Jack Draper then strikes forward to the right bit on it. And it's a winner to hold that service game. 30-15. Yuri the Hacker service game. And Yuri the Hacker with a serve. Jack Draper forehand block turn. Yuri the Hacker net with a forehand shot to left. Rebuilt. Jack Draper returns and Yuri the Hacker with a shot to right. Jack Draper returns it. Then Yuri the Hacker with an overhead smash to the left by the net. And it's a winner. Jack Draper serving 2-2 on serve in this third and final set of this one. And Jack Draper with a wide serve. Yuri the Hacker with a return. Jack Draper's net with a forehand slice, volley shots right, and Yuri the Hacker with a lob return. And Jack Draper with an overhead smash at the net to the left, and it's a winner. 30-15. Jack Draper central serve. Yuri the Hacker returns it, and Jack Draper forehand to the right, and Yuri the Hacker strikes a backhand to the left. And Jack Draper strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So on serve in this third and final set. Yuri the Hacker service game, and Yuri the Hacker with a serve and Jack Draper forehand return. Yuri the Hacker then strikes one to right, Jack Draper turns, and then Yuri the Hacker strikes a forehand to the right further forward, and it's a winner. So 30 love. So 3-3 on serve in the third and final set. Jack Draper serving 30 love, and Jack Draper with a central serve. Yuri the Hacker backhand block return to centre, and Jack Draper forehand to right, and Yuri the Hacker strikes forehand to right, but Jack Draper returns it, and then Yuri the Hacker further forward strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. So Jack Draper serving 4-4, 30-all in this third and final set. Jack Draper serving, and Jack Draper with a serve to the centre of the box, and then to the net. But then Yuri the Hacker strikes a forehand return to the centre with a bit on it, and it's a winner. What a forehand return struck from Yuri the Hacker. Jack Draper with a serve, and then to the net for a serve volley, but then Yuri the Hacker struck a forehand to the centre with a bit on it, and a passing shot winner. A forehand return winner ace with that, and what a forehand return winner ace. 30-40 break point. Jack Draper serve. Yuri the Hacker returns in. Jack Draper backhand to the centre. Yuri the Hacker returns in. Jack Draper backhand to right, and Yuri the Hacker strikes a backhand to left, and Jack Draper forehand to centre. Then Yuri the Hacker forehand to the right, and Jack Draper backhand. Yuri the Hacker then forehand to the right. Jack Draper backhand centre. Yuri the Hacker forehand to the left, just hits the net. So Jack Draper saves break point. So on serve in this third and final set, Yuri the Hacker serving, and it's 15 love. Yuri the Hacker central serve down at Jack Draper backhand block return, and further forward Yuri the Hacker strikes one to left, and then Jack Draper back returns it, and Yuri the Hacker with a volley shot. Then Jack Draper on trick strikes a forehand to the left, just out. So 5-5 on serve in this third and final set. Jack Draper serving, and it's 15-30, and Jack Draper with a central serve. Yuri the Hacker forehand return, and Jack Draper strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and to that, and then Yuri the Hacker strikes a forehand passing return shot to the right, and it's a winner. And that is quite the forehand return passing shot winner to the right from Yuri the Hacker. 15-40, 2 break points. Yuri the Hacker. Jack Draper central serve. Yuri the Hacker backhand to right. Jack Draper forehand, and Yuri the Hacker then strikes a backhand to the right with a bit on it, to the left rather with a bit on it, and it's a winner. And Yuri the Hacker with the break in the third and final set of a backhand winner with a bit on it, struck to the left. 40-30, match point Yuri the Hacker. Yuri the Hacker, a wide serve bit on it. Jack Draper with a block return. Just out game, set a match. Yuri the Hacker by 2-1. 6-4, 4-6, 7-5. So Roberto. So Roberto Bautista Agut serving the first game of the match, 30-all. And Roberto Bautista Agut for central serve, Carlos Alcaraz backhand block returning. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand's right, and Carlos Alcaraz strikes backhand serve down. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand serve, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand centre. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand's right, top net and over the net. And Carlos Alcaraz onto it with a forehand drop shot to the left, and then Roberto Bautista Agut onto it with a lob shot over. Overhead smash to left, and 8-point Carlos Alcaraz in the first game of the match. And Roberto Bautista Agut centre box over Carlos Alcaraz block return, and Roberto Bautista Agut strikes a forehand to left, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand block return to the centre. Roberto Bautista Agut strikes forehand to right, and then forwards net after Carlos Alcaraz with a backhand slice turning. Roberto Bautista Agut on net with forehand volley to the left, and it's a winner. So 1-all on serve in the first set. And Roberto Bautista Agut serve. Roberto Bautista Agut serve. Carlos Alcaraz strikes forehand to the right, bit on it. Roberto Bautista Agut returns it. Then Carlos Alcaraz then strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So 15-40, 2 break points to Carlos Alcaraz. Roberto Bautista Agut centre serve. Carlos Alcaraz backhand return. Roberto Bautista Agut strikes forehand to right. Carlos Alcaraz forehand return centre. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand to right. Carlos Alcaraz strikes a forehand to right, bit on it. And Roberto Bautista Agut with a shot, and Carlos Alcaraz backhand serve from Roberto Bautista Agut forehand centre. And Carlos Alcaraz with a forehand drop shot to the right, and it's a winner. And Carlos Alcaraz with the break in the first set. 40-15. Carlos Alcaraz serving with a break in the first set. And Carlos Alcaraz with a central serve in it. Roberto Bautista Agut backhand block return. Carlos Alcaraz forehand drive volley for Roberto Bautista Agut backhand return. And Carlos Alcaraz net with a backhand drop left. And Roberto Bautista Agut onto it with a backhand shot to left, and it's a winner. Roberto Bautista Agut service game, 30-15. Roberto Bautista Agut central box serve. Carlos Alcaraz strikes a backhand angled return to the left, and it's a backhand return winner ace. Carlos Alcaraz serving with a break in the first set, 40-love. And Carlos Alcaraz with a wide serve. Roberto Bautista Agut returns playing Carlos Alcaraz to net. A backhand drop volley to the left, and then Roberto Bautista Agut onto it, strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Carlos Alcaraz with a break in the first set. Roberto Bautista Agut service game. Point for Roberto Bautista Agut to potentially hold this service game. Roberto Bautista Agut wide serve behind it. Carlos Alcaraz backhand block return. Roberto Bautista Agut backhand serve from Carlos Alcaraz with a backhand slice there for Roberto Bautista Agut forehand to right. Carlos Alcaraz forehand to right, and Roberto Bautista Agut strikes backhand serve behind it. Carlos Alcaraz turns and a half volley to the right behind net from Roberto Bautista Agut, and Carlos Alcaraz with a forehand drop shot turns left, hits top of net just over net. At net, Roberto Bautista Agut slice shots there for Carlos Alcaraz turns, and then at net, Roberto Bautista Agut with a backhand drop volley to the right by net, and it's a winner to hold that service game. Carlos Alcaraz with a break in the first set and serving with a break, 30-15, and Carlos Alcaraz with a central serve in. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand block returns left, then forehand strikes right for Carlos Alcaraz behind. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand block return. Carlos Alcaraz then strikes a forehand to the right further forward, and it's a winner. So 5-4, Carlos Alcaraz with a break in the first set, and Carlos Alcaraz with 2 set points, 40-15, to potentially have this match at 1 set to love. Carlos Alcaraz with a central box serve, Roberto Bautista Agut returns, and Carlos Alcaraz by net with a backhand drop volley to the right, and it's a winner. Game and first set, Carlos Alcaraz 6-4. So Roberto Bautista Agut with the first game of the second set, 40-30. Roberto Bautista Agut. Carlos Alcaraz back on down. Roberto Bautista Agut strikes a forehand to the left. Carlos Alcaraz turns to right, and Roberto Bautista Agut strikes a backhand to right. It's top net and over net. And Carlos Alcaraz strikes one to right, behind Roberto Bautista Agut. Backhand slash turn, but an out and net. Carlos Alcaraz with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner. So Roberto Bautista Agut serving 1-1 on serve in the second set, and Roberto Bautista Agut with a wide serve. Carlos Alcaraz forward chance central belly, forehand forehand, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand to left, and Roberto Bautista Agut backhand to right, and Carlos Alcaraz strikes a backhand to right behind it. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand slice turns left, and Carlos Alcaraz further forward strikes an angle forehand to the right, and it's a winner. Roberto Bautista Agut serves, and then backhand to backhand, then Carlos Alcaraz with a forehand to centre, and Roberto Bautista Agut forehand to left behind it. Carlos Alcaraz returns, and Roberto Bautista Agut backhand to centre, and forehand for Carlos Alcaraz hits top of net and over net, and then forward Roberto Bautista Agut forehand drop shot to left, and Carlos Alcaraz onto it with forehand slice hits top net over net, and Roberto Bautista Agut then with a backhand drop shot to the right, and it's a winner. So on serve in the second set, Carlos Alcaraz serving, and Carlos Alcaraz with a central serving net, Roberto Bautista Agut bottom return, and Carlos Alcaraz further forward by the net with a forehand drive volley to the left, and it's a winner. So 2-2 on serve in the second set, and 30-all on this Roberto Bautista Agut service game. And Roberto Bautista Agut with a serve to centre. Carlos Alcaraz strikes the backhand return to right, bit on it, backhand to backhand. Roberto Bautista Agut backhand to left, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand to centre. Roberto Bautista Agut backhand slice to the left, and Carlos Alcaraz backhand to the right. Roberto Bautista Agut returns, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand to centre. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand to the right, and Carlos Alcaraz forehand to left. Roberto Bautista Agut returns, and Carlos Alcaraz and strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. Break point Carlos Alcaraz, 30-40. Roberto Bautista Agut with a central serve. Carlos Alcaraz forehand return, and forehand to forehand. Carlos Alcaraz strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. And Carlos Alcaraz with the break in the second set. So 15-love, Roberto Bautista Agut service game, and Roberto Bautista Agut with a serve. Wide serve. Carlos Alcaraz back on bottom turn. Roberto Bautista Agut further forward. Strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 30-all. Roberto Bautista Agut wide serve in, and Carlos Alcaraz with a forehand bottom turn, and Roberto Bautista Agut further forward. Strikes a forehand to the centre, and it's a winner. So Carlos Alcaraz serving with a break in the second set, and Carlos Alcaraz with a wide serve in it. Roberto Bautista Agut forehand bottom turn, and further forward. Carlos Alcaraz strikes one to the left. Roberto Bautista Agut returns to them. Carlos Alcaraz at the net with a backhand volley to the right, and it's a winner. Carlos Alcaraz serving with a break, and 40-30 match point for Carlos Alcaraz to potentially win this one by 2 sets to love, maybe. Carlos Alcaraz with a serve, and Roberto Bautista Agut back on turn. Carlos Alcaraz strikes one to right, Roberto Bautista Agut returns a shot to right. And Carlos Alcaraz strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and it's in, and it's a winner. Game, set, and match. Carlos Alcaraz by 2 sets to love. 6-4, 6-4.